What is up, everybody? Bentley Hockey 2024 here. Today we will be reacting to Paul Kariya's 2003 injury slash concussion. This is by Hockey Psychology and titled NHL Will Never Let This Happen Again. So, let's get started.
Concussion, a temporary unconsciousness or confusion caused by a blow to the head. In today's NHL, we still see this quite often. It's the nature of the game, and it will likely never go away. Except now, when a player gets diagnosed with a concussion, they don't just come back a few games or a few minutes later. They stay out of the game permanently. But in a do-or-die Game 6 in the 2003 Stanley Cup Final, we would witness a moment that will likely never be replicated in NHL history.
So, New Jersey Devils defenseman and captain Scott Stevens checks him or hits him in the wrong way, and it gives him a pretty bad concussion. So, I think that's what happens.
Before the NHL transitioned to a game emphasized with speed and skill, it was rare to find undersized players who could dominate the league. Paul Kariya was one of the few undersized players in the mid-90s and early 2000s who could do exactly that. Despite his smaller stature at just 5'10", Kariya's speed, agility, and incredible vision set him apart. He was a modern-day superstar stuck in the grinding, clutch, and grab era of NHL hockey. In 1993, Paul Kariya was selected by the Anaheim Mighty Ducks as the 4th overall pick in the NHL entry draft, and instantly became the face of the franchise.
4th overall, that's not bad. Wow.
Even though the Ducks went through some tough years as an expansion franchise, Paul Kariya was always a standout. Prior to the 2003 season, the Ducks had only been to the playoffs twice and didn't have much success. But on the individual side of things, Paul Kariya had clearly established himself as one of the best players in the league. He was a 7-time NHL All-Star, a 2-time Lady Byng Trophy winner, and a member of the prestigious 50 Goal Club. But there was one thing still missing from his resume, and that was a Stanley Cup.
Stanley Cup. Wow.
At the start of the 2003 playoffs, no one would have guessed that Kariya and the Ducks would make it all the way to this moment. The Ducks were the 7th seed entering the playoffs, and they were also slated to face the Detroit Red Wings in the first round. Going up against the defending Stanley Cup champs, the Ducks pulled off the upset despite being heavy underdogs in a hard-fought 7-game series. The story remained the same in their path to the finals. In both the following series against Dallas and Minnesota, the Ducks were the underdogs who just found a way to win. This magical run would lead them to the Stanley Cup Final against the New Jersey Devils. With this game heading to a Game 6 in the Devils' favor, the Ducks needed more of that underdog magic if they wanted to force a Game 7 and win the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, they do.
So 5 minutes into the first period, the Ducks came out hot, scoring 3 straight goals to take a big lead.
Wow.
Kariya had 2 assists as well, which was huge considering the Devils had done a great job at shutting him down so far in this series. The name of the game for the Devils was to shut down Paul Kariya by any means necessary. They made it sure that whenever Kariya touched the puck, the Devils instantly applied pressure to him. Even when he didn't have the puck, the Devils made it clear that they wanted Kariya to feel uncomfortable. The Devils knew that if Kariya got loose and played that free-flowing hockey that made him so good, it would mean big trouble for the Devils' chances to win. So far in this game, they have given Kariya a glimmer of space with the puck, and he's made them pay. With the momentum fully on the side of the Anaheim Mighty Ducks, and their captain playing his best hockey of the series, everything was going perfect until this.
Near side Gomez. Lefty might make sure not to put that whammy on. Passed out near side.
Yeah, it's bad. Yeah, it was horrible.
Tried to draw it around, and down on the ice.
Ooh, he's on the ice too. That's open ice check. Ouch.
Oh my goodness. Is that Paul Kariya?
Yes, it is.
Paul Kariya leveled
And
by
he's
Scott
had concussion problems in the past. This is the first open ice big hit that Scott Stevens has thrown in the series.
With 13 minutes left in the second period, Paul Kariya would chip the
Hold on a sec. We're back. Maybe.
The puck
There
on
we
his
go.
backhand to his left wing. With the puck being completely gone, Captain Scott Stevens would deliver a blindside open ice hit to Paul Kariya. This hit would never be allowed in today's NHL. Not only was it a blatant hit to the head, but it was also clear intent to injure with major interference. With the crackdown on headshots and predatory hits like this one, Stevens would have been ejected from the game and likely would have faced a heavy suspension that would have kept him out for the remainder of the series. Instead, this hit didn't even result in a penalty on the play. As Kariya laid flat on the ice unconscious, he finally wakes up and his first...
How's that not a penalty? That's... Wow. Wow. That's just stupid.
breath completely fogs up his visor. After spending some time down and out with the Ducks medical staff, Kariya somehow got up on his own 2 feet, but after standing up, his legs began to wobble and it looked like he would be out for the rest of the series. But not even 5 minutes later, Kariya would completely shock everyone.
So he's back. He's back. Wow.
Whether or not he's going to stay out. He went out, took a couple of skates, and now he comes out to play.
Well, we're being told it was the wind that was knocked out of him. Well, I'll tell you what.
It was the wind, all
I'll tell you what. He's showing me something. I didn't think we'd see him until next season. Look at this. He's back.
Agree.
Unbelievable.
He sure had a sudden gush of air come out of his lungs when we had that close-up of him.
He was unconscious on the ice.
After being knocked unconscious only 5 minutes prior, somehow Paul Kariya was back in the game. No one could believe it, including the man that laid the hit himself. Had this happened in 2023, he wouldn't have even had a chance to get back on the ice. If a player showed the signs that Kariya had, they would be completely done for the game and likely way longer after that. But unfortunately, 20 years ago, the league didn't have concussion spotters like they do today. So if Kariya said he felt fine and that he just got the wind knocked out of him, then he's good to go. After all, what training staff is going to tell the captain in a do-or-die game that he can't go back out there? Kariya was the heart and soul of this team, and despite being an undersized, skillful player, he was determined to lead this group no matter what. So on the very next shift, Kariya would go hard to the net and crash into goaltender Martin Brodeur. A warrior play from a guy who just got knocked unconscious.
Slamming into the goalie after a concussion. That surprises me. Wow.
Except when you learn about what this hit did to Kariya after, it seems more scary than it does brave. Years later, it was revealed that Paul Kariya had no recollection of the game after the Scott Stevens hit. In fact, he
Can't remember the game. Wow.
couldn't remember the next 3 days.
3 days. 3 days. That's... Oh my gosh.
Kariya would also miss significant time the next season due to the lingering effects of this hit, and ultimately, his decision to retire in 2010 was influenced by his history of concussions and concerns about his long-term health. So the fact that Paul Kariya is even in this game and driving the net like this is pure insanity.
Yeah, it is.
With the Ducks having a 2-goal lead, it feels like whoever scores next will fully claim the momentum and find a way to win this game. As the second period winds down, the puck finds its way onto the stick of none other than Paul Kariya on the left wing.
Go, go, go!
Everyone stands on their feet hoping to watch something magical happen. And with the way that he's skating, Kariya looks determined to do just that. After being knocked unconscious and returning to the game only 5 minutes later, this story will likely and hopefully never happen again in the NHL. Paul Kariya should have never been let back in this game, but he's here. Everyone remembers this moment except for the guy who's about to make it happen. And so, with the puck on the stick of Paul Kariya,
might be a little louder.
You're about to witness a comeback that hockey fans will likely never see again.
Got it back near side Kariya. Kariya, the fans want one.
Wow. Top of the circle slap shot. Oh my gosh, that's... Wow. Alright, that's gonna do it for today's video. Hope you liked it. And hope he's doing okay now. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. To see more stuff like this, comment down below. Make sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell, and I will see you in the next time. Goodbye.